it.
My dad does the same sort of thing.
He was covered in stuff. My mom had to hose him clean. Every time she blasted him, she said, "When your drain or plumbing's being naughty, call 444 4040. Then she'd let him have it.
Dad.
When your drain or plumbing's being naughty, call 444 4040. Roto-Rooter.
It's Phantom City's magical festive season, and we've mixed up a celebration for you. First, take a pinch of time with late shopping from 9 to 9 from 12 to 23 December. Next, add lots of space with extra parking off Santon Drive and Rivonia Road. Stir it all up with children's laughter, Santa, and shows from Nickelodeon's Dora, Boots, and Diego from 7 to 22 December. And tie it in a bow with gift wrapping from Reach for a Dream. Phantom City's magical festive season. See phantomcity.com for more.
This is what a great white smile sounds like. But because you don't always have, you need White Glow Print. White Glow removes stains caused by tea, coffee, smoking, and fizzy drinks. So when you need your back, use White Glow toothpaste. The teeth stain experts. Visit whiteglow.com for more. White Glow is the #1 premium whitening brand in South Africa. And yes, that has been proven because you buy it. White Glow premium toothpaste. The teeth stain experts.
The Science of on The Money Show.
So how does dried fruit actually work? You buy packets of the stuff and you've probably got absolutely no idea, no concept of it. The chief executive and founder of Montague Dried Fruit is JP Viljoen. Have you got agricultural blood running through your veins, JP?
Yes, my father was a farmer in Worcester district. But to start up, you have to convince, and the whole business structure must be from the farmer, the guy who plant the apricot tree or the peach tree. He's the important one because he do the investment from day one. Prepare his land and he decided what to do on that land. And the price I'm predicting then is a convincing factor that will tell him, okay, I will put apricots in that 10 hectares or whatever. And then you have to give him a contract because he's spending millions on that.
And the trouble is, I mean, if you're planting a mini pip this year, you know that in 6 months' time you get to harvest it and you get the market-related maize price. If you start planting fruit trees, what takes 4, 5, 6 years to get to some kind of usable fruit?
About 3 years.
Okay.
And the 4th year you will be in full production. So yeah, your investment you will have to carry for 4 years at least. And in the meantime, you also have to grow your drying facility. To extend with more drying racks, with more fork trucks, with more trained people to handle that crop.
But you are effectively what, like a co-op force, or how does the structure of your business, the drying business, work?
In Montague, we do own some land, which we have our own apricots and peach trees, and then we're also buying in from other farmers in about 100 and 150 kilometer radius. And then the dried fruit, the already dried fruit, and is about in 500 kilometers from Citrusdal to Ladysmith. So we bring it all to Montague. The first lot the fresh lot to the farm, and we dry some there. And the second lot, the biggest one, we bring it from the 500 kilometer radius into our premises, and then we grade it, like in choice grade, standard, industrial, or small, medium, large, and we then can make the offers to the Europe buyers and to the local people. We set the price once a year.
Okay, so you basically set the price once a year, and that is a price between you and the farmers. Everybody gets the same for choice, the same for industrial grade, or do you have preferential arrangements with larger farmers to the smaller farmers, for example?
The hunt is always on price, so yeah, the big brothers and the smaller brothers, they will all make prices, and we will have to compare it if the farmer have got the choice where he wanted to deliver his stuff. But we keep on a very basic line, and we grow this business over 21 years with 11 farmers, which is still delivering every year, not depending on the price. They bring it to us, we sell it, and we give them a good payback back.
And that's important, isn't it? I mean, it's a long-term trust relationship that you've got with your suppliers. You lose one of those suppliers, you lose up to 10% of your output in a single year. That can hurt.
That's very correct. So that must be an open business policy we are running from our farmers, throughout our stores to management. There's no hidden agendas in this kind of business. You have to open the books for everybody.
Tell me about your franchising arrangements. You've got a shop in Knysna, for example. I think the shops all over the place are Montague dried fruit shops.
Yes, my wife started the first one in 1991, and then we opened throughout the time one in Kleinmond and a few others till we went up to 9. And then we decided, no, that's too much work and it's too heavy on us to run shops like that. Then we get a franchise director, Hannes Janssen. He opened since the last 18 months, he opened up to 50 of them.
So it's actually become a very substantial distribution business then in South Africa of Montague dried fruit.
That's correct. We are doing 27 on this moment in the Cape Peninsula, the Western Cape and the Eastern Cape, 3 in Bloemfontein, and the rest in Joburg. Next year he's aiming for KwaZulu-Natal. And I think we can end up with 80 about in South Africa. And that's quite an interesting strategy in a market that is dominated by safari. I mean, it's a very strong statement that you're making in terms of as a competitor brand. Yeah, we have to do some things to take them on. Absolutely. Like what? So what sort of strategies are you taking on? Because there's become a price battle, because if they're the big gorilla, they could quite harm your retail strategy if they wanted to. Yes, our strategy is to bring the buyer to the farm, actually, from the tree to the packet. And I think the lower cost of running a business like that. But then you have to have a lot of product. You can't do it with only Western Cape dried fruit. You have to put on nuts with it. You have to put on mango, raisins, etc. So we have got 120 at this moment, catering from the toddler to the guy who owns his own money, to the mother who buys food for adults. And how has that distribution strategy changed the nature of the business? Because from my sense of it when we started chatting this was primarily an export-driven operation? No, the export is basically on the Cape dried fruit, Western Cape, but the rest is we import a lot of nuts to make the basket full of products, and we do a lot of ShopRite Checkers product. We do the Spar, the private label, and then of course all the old private owned shops in the whole of the country, especially in Johannesburg, that we supply for years now. I think the essence of this business is on the franchise part, is to have a one-stop, which you can buy a lot of stuff from a small boy or girl to the elderly. How the dynamics in the Western Cape fruit sector? We've seen lots of strike action over the last couple of weeks in the Western Cape. Are they changing the dynamics of the industry much? We will see what happens in the next few months. It could be a significant change on the price structure, because there's a price ceiling out there in the world on all agricultural products, as anybody knows. So if you push up the price from the dried fruit, is very labor intensive. Yes. Every fruit has to go through hands to cut it, to harvest it, to cut it, to dry it, to sort it, and then to pack it. So that's definitely going to have an effect on us. I think fruit can go up to 10% annum on pricing. Don't forget the pips, says somebody on my SMS line. I buy them and use them as a pathway covering. Much nicer than gravel. There's a nice waste opportunity there. And then I'd like to open a franchise shop. How do I go about it, says Mike? Mike can just go on www.montaguedriedfruit.co.za, and he can email us on that, and we will take it on. It depends on where you want to do that. He's in Gauteng, so Mike will be in touch with you. Expect an email in your inbox over the week, over the evening. And then chemicals. Do chemicals go into dried fruit? Is there any guarantee of chemical-free dried fruit? South Africa have got the same appliance of sulfur dioxide as Europe, and that's maximum 2,000 parts per million is allowable. So it's been tested by PPECB and agricultural services. So you have to keep track records of that. So yeah, I think that is quite in line with the sulfur dioxide and the moisture.
Okay, but sulfur dioxide is the only chemical that's used when it comes to dried fruit.
Western Cape dried fruit, yes.
There we go. It's been a great pleasure to talk to JP Viljoen this evening, the Chief Executive and Founder of Montague Dried Fruit, www.montaguedriedfruit.co.za. If, who was it? It was Mike who wanted to open up a franchise shop, and there's some nice opportunities there. JP Viljoen, thanks very much for coming in.
My pleasure.
The John Robbie Show, weekday mornings 6 to 9.
The ANC is part of a democratic process, and you and I and everybody else has got a vote to vote them in or out of power. And it was sort of a stunning moment, in a way, for all the massive problems and issues in the country. We're not at war with each other. It's not Iraq or Syria or something like that. There's no state of emergency in the country. We're basically a vibrant democracy. Let's remember